I have a dream that one day I won't have to do all the cooking on this channel. And that day has come. Because today, my lovely peeps, Katrina is going to show you how to put together a classic, very easy, family-friendly bolognese salsa. You got that? She's going to do a meat one, and she's going to do a veggie one. And then we're going to take all that she's done, and we're going to turn it into another video, because she's going to throw down her world-famous lasagna. Lasagna.
Please don't do that.
Meat and veg. So we like to cover the world. Meat, veg, coming together. So I'm gonna pass you over to the gorgeous Katrina.
Get it, y'all.
Wow, you had to have the first word, didn't you?
Of course.
Hello everybody, yes she's right, it's me, it's Kat. And Mum asked me to do this video because this is a dish that I do quite a lot at home for my family. So I'm making a really easy bolognese sauce, but I'm going to make a meat version and a vegetarian version. And then from that, I think I might make a lasagna as well. So I'm going to get started. The first thing I like to do is to just chop up my vegetables. So I chop up some onions, these are just white onions. Some courgette or zucchini, some mushrooms.
Yeah, I'll just come to them.
We've got some eggplant stroke aubergine and some yellow and red peppers. That's it, okay? So I'm just going to get my pan on, get it nice and hot. Oh, there we go. And because I'm going to try and be clever, I'm going to do both together simultaneously at the same time.
You mean try to be clever? You are a clever child. Go on, show them how it's done.
Okay.
We multitask.
Yes, we're going to multitask our butts off. Right, Mum, can you just unplug there? Right, so I'm going to put a little bit of oil in the pan. So I'm going to put more oil in the vegetarian pan than I will in the meat, because the minced beef has quite a lot of fat in it, and that's going to create its own fat. So just a little bit in this one. And I start by sweating off the onions. So I'm just going to put half in here, some in there, a bit more in that one. And the peppers. So if you notice, I'm going to be putting more of the vegetables in.
Remember, I asked you to save me some of those. Are they not going to be none saved?
You've got. I'll cut you some more, Mum.
Alrighty, cool. Go on.
I'll cut you some more, don't worry. And I didn't remember.
I noticed you didn't. As you threw it all in.
Yep. So we're going to sweat that off, but before they start to cook, I'm going to season them. Now, Mum, what do you think I'm going to use to season them?
Well, I would hope you would season that pot with some Momma Cherry Cajun seasoning.
Gosh, how did you guess? So, yeah, this is our blend that Mum makes herself, hand blends herself. And so I'm just going to...
Careful, it could fall out in lumps.
I know. It's all right, I got it.
You say you got it, but I'm telling you, it could fall. A big lump might fall out.
Okay. Thanks for the heads up, Mum.
Alrighty, there you go.
That's enough. So I'm just going to...
Okay, can I get you to, you see I got 2 wooden spoons there?
Yeah,
can you
yeah, absolutely.
stick another spoon immediately in the other pot so that you don't go...
Well, this will be my vegetarian one and this will be my meat.
Great, alrighty.
Because I am actually cooking for a vegetarian.
Yeah.
I've got some students staying with me. You're going to meet them because they very kindly cooked me dinner yesterday, which I filmed. So yeah, I want to make sure that I'm not contaminating either pot. Okay, to that, this is some oregano and basil. So I'm just going to sprinkle a bit of that over both. Just mix that through.
I can smell them already.
Lovely. Okay. Now, at this point, I'm going to add a stock pot. Now, this is just a beef stock pot. Obviously, this isn't going in the meat one. This is going in the vegetarian one.
No.
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 Obviously, this is going in the meat one and not in the vegetarian.
There we go.
There we go.
Alrighty, so drop that in.
Into the pan.
Okay, and if you had a dry stock cube...
I would use a dry one normally.
Okay.
But we don't have a dry one.
So we're using that.
Use what we have.
Okay, great.
That's how we roll in this family.
Yep. Here, let me just come over to the pot just so they can see. And this is the veggie one.
Okay.
Okay.
So now I'm going to add my meat.
Okay, to the veggie one, do you want to add, because I've got some leftover Prosecco here, do you want to add that to the veggie, or what are you going to put that one in, the meat?
No, the meat one. I might put a little bit in, but...
Because I'm thinking at this stage, instead of the stock cube, you could have added a touch.
You know what, if I'd had red wine, I would have added some red wine.
Yeah.
I tend to cook with what I have, you know, there's no set recipe. You know what I'm going to... So we had some Prosecco at the weekend, which we didn't finish. I'm just going to put
just a little bit of it.
a little bit in, just to get some flavour.
Give it some flavour. Nice.
Okay, and now I'm going to add some zucchini.
You've done it again. Take half of those out. Do you need that many for the veggie one?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I want it to be really meaty with vegetables.
All right.
The eggplant and the mushrooms. Now, I tend not to put too many vegetables in the meat one just because my kids are fussy.
Okay.
However, if you wanted to, there's nothing stopping you from adding mushrooms and zucchini to a meat one.
Great, because that's what I would have done.
Yeah.
I would have added the exact same vegetables to my meat one as well.
If this wasn't for my kids, I would have done it.
Because they would, then that would, because then all they're going to want to do is pick it out.
Exactly, and I haven't got time for that. Now,
or alternatively, you can do what I would do.
Blitz them.
Blitz it all up, those vegetables, and stick it into your sauce.
Yeah.
The children then have no idea.
There's vegetables in the sauce.
Okay, because then they have no idea it's there, and yet you're getting those vegetables across to them.
Absolutely. Can you just come over to the pan, Mum?
Yeah.
Now, as I said earlier, I didn't put as much oil in the meat one, because as you can already see, you know, the oils are starting to come out from the minced beef. I mean, if you prefer to use a leaner cut of beef, you can. However, I find that you get more flavour if you use the ones that have got a little bit more fat in it.
And they're also cheaper.
And they're much cheaper.
And what people don't realize is fat. You need fat in your diet.
Absolutely.
It's good for you.
It is good for you, but you don't want to be swimming in it, do you?
No.
Okay, so just going to let that cook for a minute.
So, Kat, what have you been doing this summer with yourself?
Oh my goodness, what have I been doing this summer? I think the biggest news that I have, I need to show you guys something. Regulars might catch on to this immediately.
So what is
there's
missing?
Something missing from my arm.
What is missing?
I'm no longer on fentanyl.
She has come off the
I
patches.
have weaned off my fentanyl patches. I've been on them for 3.5 years.
And what is fentanyl? Because I know there's going to be somebody out there saying, what is a fentanyl?
Fentanyl is an synthetic opioid. It's a painkiller, and it's very, very strong. And in recent years, it's been abused, actually, by people that are drug seekers, because it's a cheaper, sometimes easier way of getting heroin. It's a very, very strong drug, and I was prescribed it for my pain management after my operations, because the operations that I had were extensive and very, very painful. However, I've now weaned off. I'm completely free of fentanyl. I'm on day 8. It's been hard, it's been tricky, but with God's grace and the support of my family and friends, I've done it.
She's done it, and I think this is it. Now the next stage is just to reduce down off of the other drugs.
Yeah.
But it takes time to do these things.
Absolutely does.
Yeah.
And I think at the moment, I mean, you know, there's people, especially that are in the States, there's this whole opioid crisis happening at the moment, and people that just suffer genuinely from pain and chronic pain are finding it very difficult to get the medications that they need. And I think there needs to be some sort of a balance between people that are using these things for pain management and to live a life and abuse. But that's a whole other subject. I might do a little blog on that on my channel.
Yep. Okay, and that channel is Kat's Bag of Crap. And while I'm saying this, people, I'm going to zoom in right now. Please, become a Patreon. Subscribe. Hit that notification button. Then you ain't going to miss nada. Okay?
Okay, Mum, do you want to come over to the pan? I just want to show you. In the meat one, what you can see here, the juices, that's a combination of the oils that come out the meat, plus the stock pot, the prosecco, and I mean that's what gives it a really lovely gravy. If you were wanting to make maybe, I don't know, a sloppy joe or something like that, you could at this stage, before adding all of the tomato sauce, you know, you've got a good base for many dishes actually. Like, oh, do you have any garlic salt, Mum?
Yeah.
Granules. It's missing garlic.
Yes, I would have to hunt for that for right now.
Not urgent. Again, like I said, these things is your own personal preference.
Yeah, I mean, I would tell you to go over there and look over there, but I can see you pulling everything down.
Let's
so
not do that.
we
Okay.
won't be doing it.
At this point, I'm just going to put some.
Or you could have put some fresh garlic in if you like.
Some salt. And some pepper. And I'm going to now add the tomato sauce. Now, disclaimer, I usually make my own tomato sauce. I usually buy fresh tomatoes and use tin tomatoes, and then some carrots and peppers and blitz it all together. But for the sake of ease, I'm just going to use a jar, because you know what?
It's what most people out there are going to do.
And
exactly.
And there's no shame in it, and there's nothing wrong with it.
Exactly.
Because I'm making quite a large one, I'm going to use the whole jar. Mum, I need you to put some water in that for me, please.
All right.
About halfway, please.
All right. Now, I don't know if people know it, but today is International Left-Handers Day.
Is it?
Yes, it is, and I am filming with my left hand. They ask people to do something with their left hand, so I am filming with my left at the moment and filling the jar with my right.
There we go. So I've put some water in it, gave it a shake, and I'm going to add that to the sauce. Okay.
Next time I'm going to have to check it, because you didn't even look at that. You said half a jar, I put you 3/4,
Right, doesn't matter.
thinking you were going to use some for the other one.
I normally fill it, to be honest.
Alrighty.
So it doesn't matter. It will reduce down. I wanted more because I want to leave it to simmer and reduce down, so it really gets those flavours in there. So
Okay.
it doesn't matter.
Good.
And also,
Do you need any tomato puree?
I could use some. It's not really urgent.
Because I'll tell you why. Hold up.
Okay.
Because use this. I have got some. Hold up. Wait a minute. Am I on you? Yes, I am. Here's some garlic puree.
Oh, awesome.
Use that.
Thank you so much. And then, Mummy, you do the water again for me, but this time really.
Oh, here,
really
let me
hot.
use this one. That one's open.
Okay. Can you do the water for me again? But this
I
time
will.
really hot.
Okay.
Thank you.
I put some of that garlic puree
Yeah,
in.
I'm going to. Thank you. Okay. Put some puree through, tomato puree, and then you leave it. And I think I want to leave it for about 10 to 15 minutes, just to simmer down.
Okay, great.
Okay. I mean, this is something that whenever I'm making it at home, I like to make it in the afternoon, before I go and pick the kids up from school, so that it's ready, and then I can just heat it back through. But the longer it can sit and those flavours can ruminate together, the better. Okay, so some garlic paste.
Ruminate? Isn't that
Ruminate.
what's a ruminate?
Ruminate, you know.
Like-
Maybe I'm doing a mum and making.
Yeah, I can say you making up, but you doing one of my words.
No.
Ruminate.
Have a look.
It's a marinade.
No, oh.
To have room to marinate, huh? So ruminate. Go on,
I have to
Katrina.
look it up because
Go on, Katrina, with your
think-
ruminate self.
I think it's a word.
You be getting on me.
I've been spending too much time with you, Mum.
Yes, we be coming up with the words.
I'm sure it's a word.
I'm going to look it
Somebody
up.
put it in the comments.
All right,
Ruminate
Pete.
a word.
Can you look up ruminate for me, please?
Oh, hang on.
I'll ruminate.
I need something.
Paper towel right there.
There we go. So
You
we
need-
to get that first bit off.
Yeah.
It's a bit crusty.
All right.
There we go.
All right, we got enough of your back. Turn around.
Just stop it, Mum.
We won't see you.
You can stop it and we can come back in a second.
No.
I need to be fit. When I film you, I stop it.
I know you do.
A moment that we don't need it on, and then we can come back and.
Oh, but I'm trying to catch you out with another ruminate moment. Oh, that looks good.
Can you see how
guys.
it's thickening though?
Yeah, it's looking good. Stir that in.
Stir this one in. Yeah, good call on the tomato puree. I always forget to put tomato puree and then remember at the last minute.
Yeah, good one.
Okay. Now, actually, you could put a tiny touch of brown sugar just to bring out the sweetness of the tomatoes.
Because that would be your Ellis,
Yeah,
for
but
sure.
I like a tiny bit. My daughter likes to add a sugar cane.
Alrighty, let me see if I can keep this while I go get the brown sugar. Here we go. It's a light brown sugar,
Yeah,
but
that's fine.
here we go.
Thank you. You really don't need much.
Yep, just a little bit. And that's because sugar does bring out the sweetness of tomatoes, as does salt. When I was a child, we used to love to get tomatoes, with like fresh ones, and we would just have a salt shaker and just salt the tomato and bite into it. It's kind of like an apple.
Nice. There we go. Okay. That's the bolognese sauces pretty much done. They just need to simmer down for a minute.
So we're just going to come back to that when it's reached its optimum point.
Right, well, I'm just gonna,
once it has ruminated.
Once it's ruminated.
We'll come back to it. All right, we'll see you in a sec.
Okay, so the meat sauce and the vegetarian sauces have cooked. They've simmered and I've switched them off and moved them aside because I'm now going to make a white cheese sauce because I'm making a lasagna with both of them. So I know if you've seen Mum's macaroni and cheese video, if you haven't, click here because it's there. She shows you how she makes her white sauce, but I figure everybody makes it slightly differently, so I'm going to show you how I do mine. Okay, so if you want to come to the stove, first thing I want to do is turn the heat on. I don't want it to be too hot. So I'm going to take some butter. And add a generous amount of butter to the pan. A little bit more. Okay. And then the butter, once that's melted, and let that melt down. Add some plain flour. This is just plain white flour. And this is to make a roux.
And if you only have self-raising, it doesn't matter because that's what I've given her.
Did you give me self-raising? You did.
That's all I ever buy.
Okay,
I don't buy
well,
plain.
it doesn't matter. I mean, I use
know,
plain.
It doesn't matter.
It really doesn't matter. So you add the flour. There we go. To make a roux. And that's what this is. And you really want to cook that flour out so it gets to this kind of straw colour. Okay. Now at this point I'm just going to add a touch, not too much, just a touch of Cajun seasoning. A touch of salt. A touch of pepper. And a touch of the mixed herbs that I described earlier, the oregano and the basil. Okay, it's literally just to season it. Now, this is milk. Add just a little bit of milk to the bottom of the pan. Not too much, I am going to need more, but I just start with a little bit. Then you get a whisk, and you whisk that in. Get all the lumps out. You do want to continually stir it. White sauces do need attention. You do need to keep working them. Okay. Mum's going to come to the pan.
Yeah, go on.
You see, you're in.
I got you.
When it starts to thicken, can you see how it's thickening?
Yes.
Okay, it's when you add a little bit more milk. Just continue to stir. I'm definitely going to need more milk, Mum.
All right, you just carry on.
Need more milk. Because I'm making 2 lasagnas, I need quite a lot of white sauce.
And I also want you to make a little extra white sauce for one of my videos that I'm going to be doing.
Do you want it with cheese?
Yeah, go ahead, cheese.
Don't need to put it in just yet. Let it thicken a bit. It took me ages to learn how to make a white sauce. For some reason, I didn't watch what Mum was doing, and I was doing it completely wrong. And then when I was shown how simple it is, I kicked myself. I made life so much more difficult for myself than it needed to be.
Oh.
See, a lot of people you can buy in jars, you can buy a lasagna kit that has the tomato sauce and the white sauce. It's really not necessary.
I just
Make your own white
I
sauce.
find the white
It's so
sauces
much
in the
nicer.
jars just kind of taste synthetic.
They do. They do.
They don't really have
Understand.
that really niceness to them.
Yeah.
And it is so easy to make it. Okay, well, I mean, at this stage, basically, you are just continuing to slowly add the milk until you can get it to the consistency. So I'm going to stop and wait until it gets to that consistency. We'll come back when you start adding the cheese.
Absolutely.
So how's your sauce going?
Yeah,
Let's
it's
see.
thickened a lot, actually. Almost perfect. Right, I'm just about to add some cheese. I'm going to add a little bit more milk
Oh,
to
yeah,
it.
that does look good.
Just a touch.
Can we see?
Because the cheese is going to thicken it even further. And I don't want it to be too thick. But that is about as perfect as it gets. Actually. Okay, so I like to use a variety of different cheeses in my cheese sauce. I got that from my mother. So we have a red Leicester. And literally just a handful. We have a medium cheddar. We have a mature cheddar. I'm just going to give that a stir in.
Now, these are my preferences, but obvious, you know, they go with the cheeses that you have, your local cheeses to make it.
Cheeses that you
All right? And if you only have one type of cheese, just stick the one type
yeah,
in.
absolutely.
Just put extra.
Yeah.
All
You
right?
don't have to use lots of different types of cheeses if you don't want to. Look at that.
Oh, it's looking good. You're going to put any of this Stilton through?
I am.
I would say, why don't you save the Stilton for the vegetarian one and just kind of crumb it in. You know, just add little lumps of it in. Rather than just in the cheese sauce. So you want it in the cheese sauce?
In the cheese sauce.
Look at that
And it's
face.
my dish.
All right, go on for it.
Put it in.
Go on, put it in. See, I'd have put big lumps in for the cheese, for the cheesy one, for the veggie.
Why should the vegetarian get all the good cheese?
Now. Let's not be cheeses.
Valid question.
Let's not be
And this
veggie in
is
it.
something that I've never seen before. It's called a white Stilton.
Yeah, I saw that at the supermarket.
It's kind of similar. It tastes a bit like a Cheshire
Yeah?
cheese. Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't taste like a blue cheese at all, which just makes sense because it's not blue. But the word Stilton suggested to me that it would, you know, have some of that blue through it. But no, I think you might actually like this cheese, Mum.
Oh, well, I'm going to be trying the lasagna, so we'll see.
It just tastes like a Cheshire.
Okay. So let's get that all in.
Look at that.
That cheese sauce looks banging.
It is divine. Okay, so that's done. The next step is to build.
To assemble it all. Alrighty.
So let's go to that.
Alrighty. So you want to take that and
Just gonna
what you want to do, the main thing you do, guys, your tip is just keep that consistent stirring and heat, but you don't want it to stick because the problem with these sauces is if it does stick and burn, that flavor goes throughout your entire dish.
Well.
All right, so I want you to look up here and find yourself a ladle. Do you see any ladles?
Yeah, I do.
Alrighty. What, one with holes or one without?
This one
Okay.
without, this big one.
Alrighty, because then you can use that for your sauces.
That's good. Okay, so I I need a ladle.
Here,
for
let
the
me
cheese
wash
sauce.
that.
But I don't need it for my other ones.
All right.
Just a big spoon. Right, ready to go. Okay, I'll give you that. You got it? Okay, I'm going to start with my vegetarian
Great.
lasagna.
Okay, and we are using and nowadays anybody can get it. You can get them almost everywhere. There was, when I used to make lasagnas for the kids when they were younger, we had to boil up the pasta, and then you had to kind of unstick it. It was a mess. Nowadays, these sheets come ready.
Yeah.
You just basically lay them in dry, cook it, boom, bada, boom, boom.
Yeah, it's very easy.
It's done.
Excuse me, I'm just going to make space.
Okay, so she is going to be really super, super clever here because we are making 3 lasagnas. Because like I tell you guys, when I cook for this channel, I cook with a purpose. I cannot afford to just be cooking up a dish for nothing. I cook it up for something. And that means it's dinner, breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or a catering event.
Yeah.
Guaranteed somebody is going to be
Someone's
eating
going to
it.
get fed.
Someone's going to get fed. All right. So, here we go.
Here we go.
So, we got enough sheets.
I don't know if we do, you know.
All right. Well, if we don't have enough sheets, don't worry about mine. I'll make something different for my people. Okay, so let's start with your veggie and the one for your house.
Okay, so I'm doing the veg one first. So the first layer I do.
See, now that's where we differ. Totally.
Totally different.
Wow. See, I always put a bit of lasagna at the bottom, a sauce, so that when you pick it up, the base is lasagna.
Okay, well, if it's cooked properly, you don't need to do that. Because once you've cooked it and it's set, it's not necessary to have the lasagna on the bottom.
Okay, cool.
So now I always start with sauce.
Okay, I could say this is
a
yours.
bit wrinkly.
Well, it's just the way they are. It's the calzone. Crack that bad boy in half, girl.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Break it in half so that you can then use it on the other
I
side.
was about to do that.
No, you
I
weren't.
was. I was going to break another one, cheese on the side.
Now, there we go. There you go. Done. Perfect.
Okay.
So now, a layer of cheese sauce. Oh, that is nice.
It is. It's a good one.
Well, do you reckon she's going to want to eat this entire thing?
No, I can save some.
So what?
Laura might have some though, don't forget. Laura's vegetarian.
I'm sorry, I ain't cooking to pay for your lodgers. No, you know, whatever, anybody staying at your house.
Friends.
Your friends visiting. No, sorry. No. We going on holiday next week. Harvey's a vegetarian. That's the reason I was asking.
Yeah.
Because I can take some of that to come with her.
Okay. I've got Pia coming to stay as well.
Oh yeah, but
Although
isn't she
she's-
vegan?
Yeah, well, she's sometime vegan.
Because she vegan, she can't have this.
Guarantee she'd have this. Okay, and then I put a layer of pasta. And then I put another layer. See, when I make them much deeper. So I like to do like a 9-layer
Oh my God.
lasagna.
See, that'd be just too much pasta for me.
Oh, that's how I love it. Okay,
You get 3 layers out of this, which is plenty.
almost done.
It's plenty. So now do your next bit.
And then top it with cheese sauce and
Yep,
I'm done.
and that's it. Perfect. Great. I'm glad you've got some leftover sauce there.
Yeah.
Vegetarian bolognese sauce, because I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that in an aubergine dish.
Okay.
How many sheets you got there? You got enough to do yours?
Okay.
All right.
Because it's not very deep.
Yeah, cool. Alrighty, good.
Right,
Good
and then
one.
finish it off with
Some more cheese.
over top. And that's it. That's ready to go in the oven.
Perfect.
So simple.
Alright, so if you just move that back to the stove for now, we'll put them
okay.
both in the oven at the same time.
Yeah.
Careful,
It's
careful.
hot. It's really hot.
You can't manage? Got them nails.
There we go.
Alrighty. Let's go for the next one.
There's going to be lots of sauce left over.
Good. That's what we want. Because then it means I got stuff to do for... We're going to a wedding this weekend. I'm babysitting.
Yeah.
So I got some more stuff I can use. Actually, I'll use this for spaghetti bolognese, and I'll just add to it. I'll just add to it.
So put the meat at the bottom. Actually, it might not be that much left over.
Don't forget you're doing mine, so you need to be doing two at the same time.
You just said don't worry about mine. You just said don't worry about mine.
How much have you got? All right, well, let's see how you go.
Did you not just say...
Yeah, no, I said in terms of the lasagna. I did not say about the bolognese sauce.
Okay, Mum. Okay.
Girl got nerve. She come over here, she know daggone well every time I cook a recipe is for her to take home. Now she come to my house and don't even want to leave me and my family none. Oh, yes it is. Y'all heard her, didn't you? Come on now. Let's get it right. See, it's so different. I always sauce between every layer. What? I do. I would add a little bit of sauce there right now.
On top of the meat? Before putting the pasta down?
No. Right here, I'd put some, and then I'd add some more meat on top.
Really?
Yeah, I do a meat. What's it facey?
I don't understand what you're saying. So you'd put more meat on top of this?
I would go sauce. Like right now, I would have gone some sauce.
On top of this?
On top of that.
Red sauce?
Red sauce.
No.
Okay, go on.
No. It's 1-1-1. So it's meat, pasta, cheese. Meat, pasta, cheese.
So you're going to put another pasta layer on top of that?
Yeah, pasta here, and then I'll put meat.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't. It's alright, so I wanted to see your version. Make sure you save me some of that cheese sauce.
I'm not quite sure what you... I don't understand what you mean.
Okay.
What you would have done.
So...
What, you would have put meat on top of the cheese sauce?
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, then it all mixes together.
Yeah.
No. See? Everybody does it differently.
They do. So lengthways.
What are you talking about,
If you break it lengthways, you can get 2 on there. I'm just showing you how to get it in quicker.
Mum, I can do it 3 and it's the same difference.
All right, go on. Do your 3.
Who's making this?
Go on, do your 3.
Thank you. I've got a lengthways here. See?
All right.
I know what I'm doing. I don't need this whole lasagna, Mum. I only need 3 pieces.
Why?
Because I need 3 pieces.
Who's
Ellis
gonna have
says
it?
she doesn't like lasagna at the moment.
Right.
And so does Eden.
Oh, right. So this is just for
This
you
is
and
just for me
and the girls.
And I probably won't even have any either.
Oh, okay. And we're going to cook it here, so then we can leave some. I can just dish up for Phil and dish up
You dish
for...
up for you guys, and then I'll take what's left.
Okay, cool. That's cool.
Yeah, is that all right?
Yeah. Then you can make it deeper.
I'm only going to get 1 more layer, just the cheese,
Okay.
and then I'm done.
Alrighty, then you're done.
Yeah.
Good.
Just open that. Go. Yeah.
Okay, turn that one upside down.
Sorry,
and
this
lay
one?
flat.
Yeah, this one.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Cool. Alright, now just sauce her up.
Sauce her up and we're good to go. So, explain to me. So you do pasta first, Then what would you add, Mum?
I do pasta, then I add a thin layer of the bechamel, then I put my meat.
On
then
top of the bechamel?
On top of it. Then
Okay.
I add my next layer of pasta,
Yeah.
then I put a very thin layer of the bechamel, and then I put the meat, and then I put your
okay.
next.
Got it. So you do it all together, all in one?
Yeah.
Whereas I
Each layer has
all three, whereas I
has all
separate
three.
each layer with pasta.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that's a personal. All right, that's enough. I need some of that left.
Personal preference.
Preference because I don't know. I don't tolerate pasta that well.
So you're using less pasta.
So I'm trying to use less pasta.
Okay, cool. All right.
That's all.
Now, I liked your idea. So I'm going to do the same on the other one.
Yeah, that's
On the top.
Yeah, that's what I would have done.
Yeah.
Just so it had a little bit of that
Yeah.
cheese, that extra cheese. And you're gonna put some on top of the veggie
Yeah,
one.
I'm going to. Alright, so we will come back to you when it comes out so you can see how it turns out.
Okie dokie. Hi guys, welcome back. As you can see, 2 fabulous lasagnas. This is our vegetarian one, and this is the meat one. So we're going to cut into the meat lasagna. Ooh, yummy dum dum. This is going to be Katrina's lunchy dinner. Now, really, I should let it sit.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Let's see if it goes.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Mmm. Yum, yum, yum. Mmm. Oh, that's lovely.
That looks great.
So, Katrina's lasagna made with her homemade bolognese sauce. This is the meat version.
And the
that
white
is
sauce.
and the white sauce. Everything made from scratch. And our vegetarian lasagna. So, ideally, I would say leave it to rest for about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That way this cheese sauce has time to firm up a little bit. So when you slice it, you really get those proper slices, okay? So it doesn't run.
Yeah.
Okay, well done, Katrina.
Thank
So, give me the camera.
Oh, hold
To
on.
you.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Because I want you to sign off.
Okay, well, from me and my lasagna with a little bit of peace, a little bit of love, and a whole lot of soul from me, not the mama, to you.
And the mama to you. Goodbye.